Hi everyone, this is Miguel, and in this video I'm going to show you how to automate your home using computer vision with very low coding. So in this case I'm going to show you how to turn off your TV whenever nobody is watching to it after some seconds. I know this is a very basic example, but you can get the idea and automate wherever you want. This is the basic schema of what we are going to set up. We will have our TV and our camera connected to Home Assistant. We will have the Pipeless agents integration installed in Home Assistant, and we will have a webhook that will take care of turning off the TV. Let's go to our Home Assistant instance. As you can see, I already have my living room camera here with our TV that is there and the TV connected. So we have to create our webhook now. Let's go to Settings, Automations and Scenes. Click here on the bottom right corner on Create Automation. Let's add a trigger. Just look for webhook here, and it's very important to uncheck this box so the Pipeless Agents platform can call back our webhook. So let's disable this checkbox so our webhook is accessible from the outside, and then on the action let's select device. Here let's select our TV and turn off TV, which is already by default. So let's save this webhook with, let's call it turn off TV. Click on save, and there we go. This webhook URL will need to be used later. So let's leave it here by now. You need to add the following section into your configuration YAML in Home Assistant. This will allow your webhook to be called from outside of your local network, which is what we want, as the Pipeless Agents platform needs to call this webhook. So just take this into account. Let's go to the Pipeless Agents platform. Just log in and create a new project. I'm going to call this TV Automation Demo. TV Automation Demo. And here in the repository URL, we need to provide our agent code. In this case, I have already created a repository that you can directly use. This is the repository which contains our agent py file, which is the Python script taking care of turning off the TV when the person when the TV is turned on and there is no person there for more than a configure time window. So this is a very simple loop that it's going to be receiving data from the Pipeless Agents platform. This data basically represents things that are appearing in the video, and we are just checking if there is a person present. If there is no person but there was a person before, and we can mark that the person leaves this scene. And if there is no person, there was no previous person, and the TV is turned on, we can just turn off the TV. This is a very basic logic. Probably it has it can be improved, but for the demo this is just enough. So don't worry about this. You can edit this code and create your own automations, like just taking this as a template. But by the moment, I'm going to copy the repository URL, which is this HTTPS URL, and add it into our new project so that it can load the agent py file and run it. So once this is deployed, you will see there's an error because we have not finished the configuration for this project. We need to add our webhook URL. So there are many options for you to expose your webhook endpoint from the Home Assistant instance that is inside your local network. I'm going to use, in this case, ngrok, which is a reverse proxy service. So just run ngrok our Home Assistant URL like this, and it will create an external endpoint that will be redirected to the provided URL. So I'm going to copy this, which is going to be our URL, and I need to edit it in order to provide our webhook from Home Assistant. So just go here, copy your webhook endpoint, and paste it here. As you can see, now we have the host and port duplicated, so I'm going to remove the local host one because this is what ngrok is going to expose. So copy the whole URL and add it as an environment variable here. And the name of the environment variable needs to be the Home Assistant webhook URL. Just click on add. Now we also need to provide another environment variable which is called seconds without person, which basically represents, which basically represents the seconds that if there is no person in the image and the TV is turned on, then the webhook should be called in order to turn off the TV. So let's put here, for example, 5 seconds and click on add and just save this configuration. You will see that now the agent is being recreated, and after a few seconds it is now failing to carry the logs of the agent because it is being restarted, but after a few seconds we should be able to see here the new logs. There we go. So as you can see, our agent is fully configured now with this environment, and we can proceed to add our pipelines. We just need to go here to click on add pipeline, and well, the description is optional. I'm going to just put this, and we have to connect a video source. In this case, select the Home Assistant video source and click on save. Then we are going to select a filter. We have a filter for this demo that is called TV status detection. So just click on this. This filter, as you can see, it's going to detect if there is a TV and if there is if it is turned off or turned off, and it also detects person. So it's basically what we need for this use case. I will tell you later how I created this filter because it was created without coding. So just click on add filter and click on create. This will create our pipeline. So here the pipeline is in the initializing state, but since we are using Home Assistant, this is not going to get initialized automatically. So just click on the pipeline UUID. So we go to the pipeline page, and as you can see, we need to configure the Home Assistant Pipeless agent integration with this URL. So let's copy this and let's go back to Home Assistant. Now in Home Assistant, we need to add the Pipeless agents integration. Coming back to our diagram, as you can see, we have already configured the TV, the camera, and the webhook, and the only missing part is the Pipeless agents integration. So let's go back to Home Assistant, click on Devices and Services, and here in the bottom right corner, click on Add Integration. Search for Pipeless agents. As you can see, it is here, and you need to provide into this text box the URL that Pipeless agents provide. So copy the URL and paste it into this box. As you can see, our camera is already selected by default, so just click on Submit and Finish. And with this, our Pipeless agents, our Home Assistant should be streaming the camera video to the Pipeless agents platform over a secure channel. As you can see, we are using RTSPS. So anyways, let's play. We can already click here on deploy this pipeline, and once it is running, if we go back to the project page, just clicking here on the top bar, we should see some logs. and let's wait a few seconds. There we go. So as you can see, our integration is already doing stuff. Now I'm going to go down to the living room where the TV is. I'm going to sit into the sofa to watch the TV, and I will leave these scenes so you can see how the TV is automatically turned off. We will see some logs here when that happens. In order for you to be able to see that, I'm going to leave you open the camera stream here. Let's see if it loads. Let's see what is happening on Home Assistant. Okay, it's working fine. There we go. So I'm going to leave this open so you can see that I will go down and do all that stuff that I mentioned you. Well, that's basically everything. It may take a bit of time to turn off the TV, basically because there can be some delay in the streams, and since we are sending it from Home Assistant to the cloud, to this cloud in order to be processed. But as you can see, it finally gets turned off and everything is working fine. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. As I mentioned, you can customize this repository code in order to create your own agent. You can set up automations from any device that you have in your home through Home Assistant and this webhooks integration, which is great. So yeah, I want to show you how I created the filter that it's going to detect that the TV is turned on, turned off, or detect the persons. So I did that by clicking here on custom filters, and if you click here on create filter using magic object detection, you can just give a name to your filter, give a description, and here you can put whatever you want to detect. In my case, I did TV on, TV off, and person. As you can see, it is saved here. Just click here on create, and your filter will be created for you, and it will appear whenever you want to create a new pipeline in a project, just like we did on this before. When you click here on add filter, you will see the filter that you created into the other tab. And yeah, now it's all, and I hope you'll enjoy this integration.